not only is the gap between the rich and the poor growing wider, but we have a situation now in the United States where the richest 1/2 of 1% of the population owns 45% of the wealth. Okay? That means the richest 1% owns more than half of the entire wealth of this country, and the other 99% of us share the other half. Okay? And that gap, of course, under Reagan has grown. The rich are richer and the poor are poorer. Second of all, there was an interesting story that appeared in the papers a few months ago, and it talked about the fact that while we have now several million people sleeping out on the streets, while the average standard of living for the average American worker has declined during the last decade, what we now have in this country, and the good news is, I suppose for some people, is we have a doubling of billionaires. So all of you who are billionaires out there are doing very well. We went from 22 billionaires, not millionaires, billionaires, to 41. So at the same time we've seen a doubling, or almost a doubling, of billionaires, we now have people sleeping out on the street. We have millions of minimum wage jobs being created which people can't live on. The woman seemed, I'm delighted to hear that that woman's family is doing very well, and obviously there are many other people who are doing well. But I think for the average American worker, when you look at wage increases compared to inflation, when you look at the cost of telephone bills and electric bills and housing and health care and higher education, the average American worker is in worse shape. And the disparity between the rich and the poor is growing worse.